Hey guys, it's CrystalRenèe here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, thanks for joining. Hey my Planty friends, welcome. Today I have an exciting video for you all. Today I'm going to be giving you a 7-month update on some of the Hoya that I received from one of my Planty friends like you. 8 months ago, I did a Hoya wish list and one of my subscribers blessed me with about half of the wish list that was on my list. She blessed me with 5 cuttings of 5 beautiful Hoya. So today I'm going to be sharing with you all an update of what they look like now. But before we can get into that, if you can give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, that would be greatly appreciated. It also helps the algorithm of my channel. So if you're interested in seeing what these Hoya look like today, then stay tuned. Now it's time for me to share with you an update on what all my Hoya look like as of today. Each Hoya that I share with you, I will insert some footage of what that Hoya looked like prior to what it looks like now. Before I jump into what the Hoya look like today, I want to let you all know that when I received these cuttings, each cutting was in a Ziploc bag of perlite. Once each Hoya established a nice set of roots, I then placed them all in pond, which you will see today, and they're all loving the pond life. So the first Hoya up is this Hoya Crimson Princess. As you all know, when I first received this plant, well, this cutting, it was 2 separate cuttings and they both had beautiful variegation. But sadly, somehow this plant got a little bit neglected and I almost lost it completely. But I was able to catch it in time and I was able to get it all potted up and situated. But unfortunately, the leaves that have the most variegation on it are completely gone except for this one. So all these other leaves you see here are completely new leaves. Sad thing is, it's not putting out any type of variegation, and I'm not sure if that was due to my neglect or what have you, but I haven't received any variegation on any of these leaves, which I'm keeping my fingers crossed and hoping for. Excuse my neighbors. Okay, sorry about the interruption, but as I was saying, none of these leaves have put out any type of variegation, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm hoping I get some variegation soon. But I don't know if you can see, but there is a tiny new leaf coming in right about in there. And hopefully it has some type of variegation on it. I'm still loving the plant. Overall, it is still a beautiful plant. But at this point, you really can't tell that it's a Crimson Princess. Fingers crossed. The next Hoya I have is this Hoya Sunrise. Look at how beautiful it is, guys. And it has plenty of aerial roots. Now, when I was getting this plant all rooted up, I had it under a humidity dome, which it loved. It had so much humidity that it caused so many aerial roots to come about every which way. So if I really wanted to, I could chop this plant up in different sections and make it its own plant. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that just yet because I'm kind of enjoying how she looks now. Let me turn her around. I love how she's trailing over the planter like that. But when I first got the cutting of this plant, it was very small. If I'm not mistaken, it was about a 3 to 4 leaf cutting. As you can see, it's been growing wonderfully and looking good. Now, what I have been looking for on this plant, I kind of want to get it sun stressed. If you guys know how I can get this plant to sun stressed, please give me some comments below, because so far I have 2 leaves at the bottom that's somewhat giving me a little sun stressed look, but overall nothing, just pretty green leaves, which is okay. And she just put out these 2 new leaves you see here. And I don't know if you can see, but she's shooting out a lot of different growth points down at the bottom. So before you know it, I feel like this plant is going to be very bushy. The next Hoya I have on my list is the Callistophylla. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But this is one of my favorites out of them all. When I first received this cutting, it had 2 leaves. These 2 leaves you see here are the original leaves that I started out with. And again, I placed this plant in pond and it just took off. As you can see, it's given me 4 additional leaves, and it's also pushing out a baby leaf there, if you can see. I am loving the way this plant looks. Look at the pattern on the leaves. That is my favorite part about this Hoya, because I'm just loving the tiger stripe pattern that it gives. For a Hoya, I think it's growing okay. Even though it's only been 7 months, I think 4, almost 5 leaves are a nice amount of leaves for this particular plant, I must say. So that is what she's looking like. Now this next Hoya is the Pubic Silver Splash. And as you can see, she is very splashy. I am loving those leaves she's putting out. When I first received the cutting for this plant, it was about 4 to 5 leaves. It was a pretty nice size, but I must say she's been shooting out leaf after leaf all over the place. I don't know if you can see down in there, but she has a lot of new shoots coming out from every which way. This plant has not disappointed me yet. She is gorgeous. Even if you look here, she gave me a half moon. Isn't that adorable? And these leaves are so splashy that I just cannot get enough of it. I do think when this plant was just a small cutting, I went out to my local Lowe's and I found a Hoya Pubic Splash, I believe it is. They look somewhat similar, but somewhat not. But it's a fairly large plant, and I will share that plant with you on another video, not on today's video, but I'm kind of confused between the two, if they're the same or if they're not. Maybe you guys can be the judge of that once I share that plant with you all. But back to this baby. I just think it's adorable, and I think she's doing just great, and she's giving me life. Now the last Hoya I have, is last but not least, is the Hoya Mathilde. Now, I did have the Hoya Mathilde Splash on my wish list, and she was under the impression that this was a splash, but I really don't think it is, because it's not very splashy. But either way, I am in love with this plant. If you guys do not know, this plant was only 4 leaves when I received it, and it has grown massively, if I don't say so myself. She's still putting out new leaves, if you can see that. And she's also pushing out leaves down in the inside. Now, what happened with this plant is that I had it under a humidity dome and it was kind of hanging over. And I wanted it to all fit in there, so I kind of wrapped it around inside the planter. And as you can see, all these aerial roots started to push out, and it kind of embedded itself inside of the pond. So it is like rooted down in there, wrapped in there like so, and it started to trail once again. So with some of these Hoyas, I'm thinking to put them on their own little trellis. I think that would be cute. Although this is not a Mathilde Splash, I am loving the original Mathilde. And for some reason, I thought the leaves on this plant would be a lot smaller, but they're a lot larger than what I thought they would be. So Yes, I am loving this plant as well. All 5 of these plants have grown tremendously. I'm so happy with the growth that they all have been giving me and happy to have them in my collection. And most of all, I'm happy that they were gifted from one of my planty friends, one of my viewers who support my channel. So Guinea, if you're watching this video, I want to thank you again. I'm trying to love on these babies and take care of them. And I hope you're happy with the job that I'm doing as far as caring for them. So if you made it to the end of this video, you are greatly appreciated. And as I always say, enjoy peace, spread love, and be blessed. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the notification bell so that you never miss a post. Share with all your planty friends. And follow me on my Instagram so that we can interact.